Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which means I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. This is early December 2013. A couple of weeks ago, a young man named Lee Snow contacted me on Facebook. He is a preacher at Gray Church of Christ, a church of about 50 members in the town of Gray, Georgia, population about 2,100. Lee asked to become a Facebook friend, and I accepted his request. Then, for a short time, he and I had a dialogue going. During the dialogue, he said that Catholics are not Christians. When I then gave him evidence that Catholics are Christians, he replied, quote, "Nothing could be further from the truth. You are trying to pull the wool over our eyes." Since that is equivalent to calling me a liar, I am no longer communicating with him. But today, he asked me to visit and to like his Facebook page entitled "The Preacher's Favorite Passage." I visited it, but I have not clicked on like. I read his most recent posting on that page. I am now going to quote from it, paraphrasing slightly, and then I will comment on it. It is entitled "Goodness." Lee Snow says, quote, "From the atheist community on a regular basis come statements like this: I help people. I care about the little guy. I try to live a life that is morally acceptable and teach others to do the same. I'm a good person even without believing in some God." But, says Lee Snow, is that actually true? Can one be a good person without God? God is the only one that is ultimately good. So if we are to imitate what is good, then the modern idea of goodness must fall by the wayside and be surpassed by godliness as the definition of what is good. The only true source of goodness is the Bible. Is it possible to be a good person outside of Christianity? A study of the Bible, the divine book, says no. The only good people are New Testament Christians. Unquote, Gray, Georgia Church of Christ preacher Lee Snow. And remember, you Catholics who are viewing this, according to Lee Snow, that does not include you. You are not Christians, so you are not good persons. I will now tell you a little bit more about Lee Snow. He graduated from high school in 2008. Then he attended college for 2 years, during which he says, quote, "I met my wife-to-be and I was baptized for the remission of my sins," unquote. Lee is a 2012 graduate of the Memphis School of Preaching. He is 22 years old. When I was his age, I too had recently been baptized, but baptized a Catholic, and I too had decided to become a Christian preacher, specifically a Catholic priest. So there are some parallels between Lee Snow's recent life and my early adult life almost 60 years ago. But I never in my life held the position that the only good people are New Testament Christians. I recognized goodness far and wide. I find no credible evidence that Lee Snow's God, or any God, exists. I find overwhelming evidence that the Bible was not authored by his God or by any God. I have shown Lee that his biblical God endorses slavery, mass murder, mass torture, child abuse, rape, incest, and many other evils. But that does not stop Lee from continuing to assert that his God is all good. Lee's assertion that the only good people are New Testament Christians is nonsense in the extreme and arrogance in the extreme. Lee's small church maintains a food kitchen to feed poor, hungry people of his community. That is goodness. I sincerely commend him and his church for that. I regularly give money to a food kitchen in Alabama, in one of the poorest areas of our nation. According to Lee, because I am an atheist, I am not doing good. That is nonsense. To all of you, thank you for watching this video.